northwards to the Rock Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, 400 wildfires have already burned 200 acres of Maine this year, and experts say that the risk is increasing.
Plus, with the election right around the corner, many Mainers have not received their mail-in ballots and are beginning to worry.
And Ellsworth is exploring paid parking, which is quickly becoming a contentious issue in the area. We'll tell you all about it.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. The thing that a lot of people will be talking about this morning, though, is the cold weather. It's pretty chilly out there. What is it now? I don't know. I can't see the thermometer. But
what is it now?
What is it now? I don't know. It was like 17 degrees when I got in my truck this morning.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. I have not defrosted, and my attitude is reflecting that.
A lot of people are feeling that way. There's a lot of winter lovers, though, that are welcoming it. In fact, a little later on, we'll see some video of the see some video of the snowmaking going on up at Sugarloaf. So a lot of people are getting excited to hit the trails. We're not part of it, I guess. No. But anyway, the good news is we will have a little bit more warm weather coming up later on this week. Just have to wait a day or so.
Unseasonably warm. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have a small craft advisory that has been issued along the coast, and that will last until about 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon because of active surf that will be expected thanks to gusty winds. Meanwhile, this morning, we're looking nice and calm out there with just a few passing clouds. I haven't seen much fog reported this morning. Keep an eye out for that just in case some of that does develop. But we are watching for some active weather further off towards the west, showers and storms over in parts of lower Michigan, and some activity up in parts of Canada. We'll have our return for rain coming up later on tonight. But futurecast moving forward. Again, we're going to be watching for a partly cloudy sky later on today. Rain moves in coming up later on tonight, and even as we head towards parts of early Wednesday morning. As for the winds, not too bad. Roughly at about 5 to 10 miles per hour today. They pick up a little bit more along the coast later on tonight, and especially as we head towards Wednesday morning. So for today, not bad. We have lower 50s, partly cloudy, and that south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour or so. Later on tonight, rain moves in. Areas of dense fog also expected with lows in the upper 30s and that south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we head towards tomorrow, middle 50s, rain showers on the way, also breezy. South wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour. The hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon with temperatures warming into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, according to the Maine Forest Service, consistently dry and windy conditions across Maine have brought increased risks for wildfires. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard spoke with a forest ranger to learn more and what to know in order to prevent forest fires.
This year, we've seen about 400 wildfires. Then they've burned about 200 acres.
Timothy Chelman is a forest ranger with the Maine Forest Service. He says the perfect conditions for fire weather, or weather that increases the risk of wildfires by making it easier for them to ignite and spread, has been building for a while now. And as of Monday, 10 of Maine's 12 districts on the wildfire danger report were listed at high risk, with 2 districts in southern Maine being at very high risk.
The big thing is the dryness right now. People don't think as much about wildfire when the temperatures are so low because it feels cold. But the lack of rain that we've had and the wind that has been drying out the fuels, if you go out in the field, you're feeling the leaves, you notice just how dry and crunchy they are.
Chelman says many wildfires are accidental, usually caused by people not paying attention to their fire or not being aware of severe conditions.
For the average citizen, what I want you to do is make sure that you are being extra careful with anything that might cause a wildfire. If you are looking to do some burning of brush piles or anything like that, I would recommend, and we would definitely suggest, to postpone that until fire conditions are a little bit better.
But it's not just burning that can cause wildfires. Cars, ATVs, and even lawnmowers all have the potential of accidental ignition.
We also had one recently for equipment use. So someone was mowing their lawn and it caught some rocks that caused sparks, and next thing you know, the field caught on fire.
Chelman says if you're planning to burn, you should always check mainfireweather.org. And when in doubt, contact your local fire department. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The jury selection process has begun for the murder trial of a Madison man accused of killing his former roommate. 62-year-old Roland Flood is charged with the murder for the death of 57-year-old Mark Tribue of Anson. Tribue was found dead with multiple stab wounds at a Madison cemetery back in July of last year. Monday's jury questionnaire process is the first step in the jury selection process. Opening statements are now expected to begin at Somerset County Superior Court on Wednesday morning.
Well, a state representative wanted for an alleged assault has turned himself in. An arrest warrant had been issued over the weekend for Republican Representative Lucas Lanigan of Springfield. Authorities had been looking for Lanigan following an incident on Friday. He's accused of domestic violence aggravated assault. Lanigan turned himself in at the York County Jail on Monday morning. He's currently running for re-election against Democrat Patricia Kidder.
The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating the theft of an expensive trailer. It was on Friday, October 18th, when the 53-foot reefer trailer was reported stolen from the parking lot of the Dysart's service station in Herman. They believe it had been taken sometime in the previous month. Authorities hope to hear from anyone who knows about the theft or the current location of the trailer. You can contact the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office with any information that might help.
Well, now to vote 2024 and new concerns with mail-in ballots. A Scarborough viewer reached out to our media partners at WGME. She said her ballot never arrived despite her requesting one weeks ago. Mal Myers started asking questions and learned others are in the same situation and just can't wait any longer.
I'm here to polish off my vote,
Glenn Grant wanted to cast his town ballot by mail.
but the ballot has never come, which says something about our mail service.
Scarborough officials say other voters have reported the same problem, and some ballots were returned to the town as undeliverable, despite being addressed correctly. They've even received a few completed ballots from South Portland voters.
We are working very closely with management at the Postal Service to identify and remediate any problems.
We reached out to the Postal Service for comment, but a spokesperson didn't respond.
We've certainly heard more concerns about mail delays.
I know that where my mother resides, that sometimes we will not receive mail for maybe 5 days, which is quite remarkable.
Catherine Wise was picking up a ballot for her mom and planning to bring it back herself. She decided to vote by mail in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
They have a very good system, so I can go online and I can see that it's been received.
Maine also has an online tracker. If you've already sent out your ballot, but it hasn't been received, you can go vote in person. Should the completed ballot show up later, it won't be counted.
Yeah, it's not easy when you have to take and make an extra trip.
Secretary of State Shanna Bellows says if you can, put it in a drop box outside your city or town hall, or return it in person.
That's going to reduce the load on the Postal Service and also guarantee that your absentee ballot is returned.
And that was Mal Meyer reporting. In other news, Mainers without health or dental insurance can apply for coverage through the state's insurance marketplace starting Friday. Open enrollment for coverme.gov runs from November 1st through January 15th. You must enroll by December 15th for coverage to start January 1st. This is the only time of the year you can enroll in coverage through coverme.gov unless you qualify for a special enrollment because of a qualifying event, such as losing insurance, having a baby, or a change in marital status. Maine residents without access to dental or health insurance through their employer, MaineCare or Medicare, are encouraged to apply.
A coalition of organizations gathered in Bangor Monday to introduce the Maine Energy Choice Campaign. The coalition has already reached out to all of the candidates running for the Maine State Legislature and Congress, urging them to support Maine residents and their choices to heat their homes and businesses.
Over the course of this campaign, we have asked candidates for the Maine Legislature and the United States Congress to sign an Energy Choice Pledge, which simply says that they will oppose any efforts to restrict Mainers' abilities to choose how they heat their homes, their businesses, or what kind of vehicles that they drive.
In a recent digital research poll, it was found 8 out of 10 voters believe the state government should allow Mainers to choose how they heat their homes.
Maine is getting nearly $133 million for bridge replacements in Penobscot and Kennebec counties. An announcement set out by Senator Susan Collins yesterday said the funding will assist in the rehabilitation or replacement of 6 bridges on Interstate 395 between Bangor and Brewer. It will also help with the replacement of 6 aging overpasses on I-95 near Augusta. The funding is coming from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Bridge Investment Program. In the announcement, Senator Collins said, quote, "This funding will make our roadways safer and more resilient by addressing bridges that are crucial to Maine's infrastructure. Upgrading these routes will ensure that vital corridors remain accessible for residents, businesses, and commercial transport alike."
Drivers in Augusta will see some major delays with a bridge replacement program that began there yesterday. According to Devin Eaton, the project manager for the Maine Department of Transportation, the closures are part of a construction project to replace the 70-year-old bridge on Western Avenue that connects to Interstate 95. This first part of the closure closed the eastbound on-ramp.
It's about 70 years old, coming to the end of its service life, gets a lot of traffic above and below it. So we're looking to stay ahead of this project so it doesn't become an issue where it can't handle the traffic loadings that go through here.
Well, Eaton adds that following this closure, the southbound exit 109B ramp will also be closed on November 18th. He says the closures are only temporary as the contractors put in a temporary bridge. Eaton expects that the new permanent bridge will be completed by the fall of 2025.
All right, the time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, in what is quickly becoming a contentious issue for local residents and businesses, Ellsworth is considering putting in paid parking around town.
We'll have the story along with reactions coming up, but first another look at that weather forecast. A partly cloudy day ahead today with highs near 50 degrees. Tonight, rain is likely. You might see some fog too, lows dropping down to the upper 30s. Tomorrow, rain showers and breezy conditions with highs near 55. We'll be right back.
Jared Golden says,
"I'm not voting for Donald Trump."
That's because Golden supports Kamala's agenda. Golden voted for their $1 trillion spending spree and against funding Trump's wall.
"I'm not voting for Donald Trump."
Golden's for Kamala's policies instead. Aroostook County native, Austin Terrio, endorsed by Trump. He'll support Trump's policies, secure the border, and fix our economy. The choice is clear.
I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message.
Whoa, how'd you get your teeth so white?
You gotta use the right toothpaste.
Dr. C?
Not all toothpaste whiten the same.
Crest 3D White removes 100% more stains for a noticeably whiter smile.
New personal best.
Crest.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean starts with Oral-B.
Things are messed up in Maine. The state's broke, light bills are skyrocketing, housing costs are through the roof. I'm Trey Stewart. Here are the facts. Democrats completely control Augusta. They could solve these problems today. Instead, they're focused on how big your campfire can be and banning coyote hunting. You know we can do better. It's time to vote them out.
Paid for by Maine Senate Republicans, Augusta, Maine. Top fundraiser of Maine Senate Republicans is RSLC.
Protect your vehicle from rusting away with Bell's Automotive Protection. We are the leader in mobile undercoating and rust proofing in Maine. We'll travel right to your driveway using the best and safest products on the market. This is much safer than rubberized coatings that can cause damage later on. We spray all types of vehicles, including commercial fleets. We all know vehicles aren't cheap anymore. Don't let the harsh winter chemicals eat them away. Call us or visit our page for a free quote. 207-659-3805.
The city of Ellsworth is considering a proposal to add seasonal parking kiosks to downtown. This has stirred a lot of opinions from both locals and business owners who have gone years without having to pay to park. Our Grace Blanchard has the details.
Because there are times, especially in the summer, when we have so many visitors here that parking is hard to find parking.
Free parking could be going away in downtown Ellsworth, at least for part of the year. In their latest Finance Committee meeting, the city manager and deputy police chief presented a proposal that would implement paid parking from May to October 31st. Their projections say it would produce over $1 million in revenue per year.
Any funds generated would be reinvested back into the downtown areas.
The city has been without meters since the 1960s, something many local businesses and residents hope doesn't change.
Are they going to pull in quickly and have to go find the meter, right? Go figure it out, or are they just going to go, and keep going?
Some are worried about becoming too much like other tourist areas.
I feel like paid parking may be a great thing for Bar Harbor and other communities, but it's not right for here.
That uniqueness may go away when you kind of start to add things like parking meters. It kind of has a different feel to it.
Others think this could be a good thing depending on where the revenue goes.
I do believe that the money generated, as long as it's spent on downtown, could really be a boon for the town.
Both the city manager and deputy chief were unavailable for further comment. The communications director offered this statement and says they hope to include all business owners in upcoming discussions. In Ellsworth, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, it's the 50th anniversary of the Community Development Block Grant. The city of Belfast hosted a special celebration yesterday afternoon. Department of Economic and Community Development Commissioner Heather Johnson says Belfast was the perfect location.
Belfast has really seen kind of a revitalization, and they had a plan for what they wanted to see, and were able to use this as a tool to help, again, facilitate some of their work.
We really want Belfast to be an even better community than it already is, and we have needs to improve our infrastructure, support our businesses, help foster the development of housing, and the CDBG program has been really a very important funding source for that.
Commissioner Johnson says in the 50 years since it began, Community Development Block Grants have provided more than $603 million for projects in communities all across the state of Maine.
There's been a change of command at the Margaret Chase Smith Library in Skowhegan. In September, Dr. Chris O'Brien, a former University of Maine of Farmington history professor and former director of the Theodore Roosevelt Center, became the director of the Margaret Chase Smith Library after Dr. David Richards retired from his position. Last night, folks gathered at the library for a hail and farewell event to recognize both O'Brien and Richards. Ahead of the event, the new director spoke with us and described the library as a perpetual work of art.
She was this fundamentally important person in the history of Maine and in all sorts of ways in the history of the United States.
O'Brien says he'll continue to follow the moral compass set by Margaret Chase Smith, whose library was built outside her very own front door. I love the description of a perpetual work of art.
Yeah, always working on it.
Very cool. All right, the time now is 8:18. After the break, with temperatures dropping rapidly, winter is right around the corner, and that means Sugarloaf is going to be open for skiing season soon enough.
We'll take a look at the snowmaking as Good Morning Maine continues.
I'm a registered nurse. I work in labor and delivery, women's healthcare. There are a million ways a pregnancy can go wrong. Austin Theriault said that overturning Roe v. Wade was the right thing to do. Theriault wants to let politicians ban all abortions, even in Maine, with no exceptions for rape, incest, or to save a woman's life. Theriault says that's the right approach. And that's why we have to say no to Austin Theriault.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Mainers are tough as nails. And when it comes to quitting smoking or vaping, we don't give up. Because Mainers know every quit attempt is a step in the right direction. The Maine Quit Link offers free help to stop smoking and vaping, including personalized quit plans and free nicotine gum, patches, and lozenges. Because quitting tobacco with a little extra help is more successful than quitting cold turkey. Quit like a Mainer. Enroll online at MaineQuitLink.com or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
The all-new Santa Fe is a giant leap forward. It's incredibly tough, unbelievably big, and amazingly smart. The all-new, epically capable Hyundai Santa Fe. There's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe for only $269 a month, or get 0.99% APR for up to 48 months. Hurry in.
Can a body wash transform your chest, arms, legs? It's Olay Body Wash with skincare ingredients and 10 times more vitamin B3 complex. So in 14 days, see visibly better skin. Olay Body Wash. Discover yours.
Jordan's sore nose let out a fiery sneeze, so Dad grabbed Puffs Plus lotion to soothe her with ease. Puffs Plus lotion is gentle on sensitive skin and locks in moisture to provide soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
Well, depending on where you were yesterday, some of you felt some real signs of winter on the way. That is good news for some of us who enjoy all the snow. Special thanks to our friends at Sugarloaf for sharing their Bullwinkle's webcam with us. They tell us their crews started making snow over the weekend. Snowmaking sure looking like it's sticking to the mountain so far. That's great news for skiers and snowboarders who can't wait to get out there. I was just reading too, it looks like Sunday River has also started making snow. Before you know it, if you like that kind of thing, you'll be up there on the mountain too.
I know, and it definitely felt like it last night. It felt like good conditions for it.
Yeah, things are cooling down. That's what they need. They need that consistent cold weather to keep it up there. Looks like we have some warmer weather on the way, but that might just be a little hiccup as far as the snowmaking goes.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Yeah. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. A small crowd advisory is up until 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon along the coast, as active surf will be expected to move in yet again. For now, it's rather calm out there in the ocean. 1-foot wave heights being reported according toward the buoys at this time. A little bit active further out towards sea, around 2 to 6 foot wave heights being reported in those areas. Meanwhile, on land, not looking too bad. We're under a partly cloudy sky this morning. A little bit more active weather developing further off towards the west. We have showers and storms in lower Michigan and some active weather in Canada as well. We'll have our turn for some rain coming up later on tonight. So Futurecast showing that partly cloudy sky that will be on the way for us today. And later on tonight, more clouds move in. The rain gets going after midnight. Early Wednesday morning, we'll be watching for showers that will be passing through, continuing throughout the day on Wednesday. Notice by Wednesday night, things do back off. Then once we head towards your Thursday, not looking too bad. Maybe some fog to watch out for, and maybe some clouds as we head towards Thursday morning. As for the rainfall, I'm going to stop this by early Thursday morning. Not a whole lot of rain expected, maybe around 1/10 of an inch of rain possible before we're all finished up. And then later on this week, a little bit more on the way. So overall this week, maybe around 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of rain possible. We'll take any rain that we can get, as it's been dry lately around here with moderate drought developing across our neck of the woods. And it's not just us as well. Further off towards the west, look at this. Most of the country dealing with some kind of drought right now. We could use the precipitation. At least for us, we'll get a little bit moving in coming up soon. Our average high temperature is 53 degrees. We'll do lower 50s today, middle 50s Wednesday, middle 70s. Hello, as we head towards your Thursday, upper 60s for your Friday. Then we cool off. We got 40s Saturday and 50s Sunday, and again for your Monday. So for today, lower 50s under a partly cloudy sky, and that south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour or so. Later on tonight, upper 30s, rain likely. Areas of dense fog also expected, and that south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we have middle 50s for the high temperature, some rain showers on the way, also breezy, and that south wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Let's check out your extended forecast. All decked out for Halloween coming up soon, showing a partly cloudy sky and rather warm for Halloween with highs in the mid 70s. Some more rain showers Friday with highs in the upper 60s. And then we cool off, upper 40s for Saturday under a mostly sunny sky.
For 50 years, I've paid into Social Security and Medicare.
You earned it. You paid it in every week.
Austin Terrio skipped work in the State House.
But he still took his paycheck from taxpayers.
Now, Austin Terrio wants to go to Congress, joining politicians who would
cut the Social Security and Medicare benefits that we earned, which is kind of scary.
It's going to hurt a lot of people in Maine.
I think it's criminal.
Highway robbery.
No show, Terrio.
It'll never work for Maine.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
I was hurt in a bad motorcycle accident. I tried to handle it on my own, but I could tell quickly I was in way over my head. The other driver's insurance company was very difficult to work with. That's why I decided to call Joe. Smartest move I ever made. I went from being completely overwhelmed with doctor's appointments and medical bills to feeling normal again. Joe Bornstein's office took care of everything. I was completely satisfied with the outcome. I wish I'd called sooner.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
When Northern Power Wash Company, located in Bangor, wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Northern Power Wash provides outstanding pressure washing, window and gutter cleaning services to Eastern and Central Maine. Call Todd at 881-3680 today for a free estimate.
Alice loves the scent of Gain so much, she wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice, and long-lasting Gain scent beads, part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
As a working mom with 2 little kids, it's hard when Jared leaves every week to go to Washington.
But my daddy likes to help you.
That's why he joined the Marines after 9/11. Jared will keep us safe. He knows what matters to Maine families.
He wants to put more money in your piggy bank.
He's protecting Maine jobs and lowering healthcare costs for seniors and families.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message, because the things that matter most to your family matter most to our family too.
The United Nations is demanding more international attention for what it calls the forgotten crisis in Sudan. Over a year and a half of war in the African nation has pushed the country to the brink of famine. The UN says more than half of Sudan's population, about 25.6 million people, may face acute hunger this year. Additionally, the country is in the midst of several disease outbreaks, including cholera.
We went to Sudan because this is one of the most acute crises that we're facing globally, and yet it's a forgotten crisis. 13 million Sudanese are facing acute levels of food insecurity, of which 9 are in either emergency or catastrophic levels of food insecurity. Almost 4 million children are suffering from acute malnutrition, which is a form of malnutrition that, if not treated, can result in their death from disease and hunger. And we need to do everything to reach children and their families throughout Sudan.
So we're using the national curriculum. And in some cases, we have also
The most recent appeal from the director of the children's agency, UNICEF, comes amid recent reports the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces rampaged through villages and towns in an east-central province, killing dozens. Fighting between the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese military have forced millions to flee their homes.
Israeli fighting continues on several fronts. The Lebanon port city of Tyre blasted by Israel, going after Hezbollah there, as tough fighting continues in southern Lebanon. Strikes in the traditionally safe areas in Lebanon, where many displaced families have fled, are now raising fears among local residents. In northern Gaza early this morning, the IDF says it completed raids on a main hospital there, claiming to capture 100 Hamas suspects and killing 34 civilians, more than half being women and children. And last night, the Israeli parliament voting to ban the UN agency, which helps provide aid to Palestinians, claiming UN staffers were involved in terror activities. The UN says this move could mean the collapse of the aid process.
It's a swing state blitz with just over a week left before Election Day. Vice President Harris held events in Michigan, while former President Trump traveled to Georgia. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Either it's Donald Trump sitting in there, stewing over his enemies list, or me, with your help, working for you, checking off my to-do list.
Vice President Kamala Harris made stops in Michigan, trying to highlight the differences between her and former President Trump. Harris was joined by her running mate Governor Tim Walz, and big-name surrogates rallied on her behalf in Pennsylvania. Barack Obama was joined by Bruce Springsteen and John Legend. Former President Trump held a rally in Atlanta.
This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence and failure, or whether or not we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, campaigned in Racine. First Lady Jill Biden and Gwen Walz spoke at an event focused on educators, while Democratic lawmakers Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez teamed up at a rally in Madison. The Trump-Vance campaign is still trying to fight off criticism over jokes a comedian made at its New York City rally, calling Puerto Rico a, quote, floating island of garbage.
It's just unacceptable.
The campaign says the joke was made in poor taste and doesn't reflect Trump's views. Next, Vice President Harris plans to deliver a major speech in Washington, D.C., making her campaign's closing arguments on the ellipse, the site of former President Trump's speech before the January 6th riot at the Capitol. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
And coming up on the second half of the newscast, what started as a means of keeping old rope out of the landfill has developed into an amazing new style of art.
We'll take a look as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hell, I'd like to kick back.
Skip work, just like no show.
No show, Austin Terrio.
But I can't, because when Terrio did show up, he voted against lowering my prescription costs.
Now Terrio's running for Congress, bankrolled by the Project 2025 crowd, whose plan lets drug makers charge whatever they want.
And threatens to privatize Medicare.
Shows me all I need to know about Terrio. HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Central Maine Barns and Sheds, quality products built right here in Newport with a strong attention to detail. We have an incredible selection of pre-made options and would be more than happy to custom build a unit specifically for you. Central Maine Barns and Sheds has financing options available, including a rent-to-own program. We provide free delivery and setup within a 30-mile radius of any of our locations. Check out our full inventory at centralmainbarns.com or call for more information, 368-6177.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, and it is also National Cat Day.
So go through all your photos, make your little posts, tell your cat you love them so much.
Their heads are going to get so big, though.
I know, I know.
They already are.
I was going back and forth of, do I even tell him at all?
Yeah,
he's going to need something then. Well, this holiday was created to raise awareness about the number of cats that need to be rescued every year. Science magazine reports that cat domestication goes back 12,000 years. Sailors also brought them aboard ships to help control rodents, allowing them to spread across the world. Although many modern cats have comfortable homes, there are still many living in shelters or are on the streets. This is a day to consider the many animals that need help. I think we're very fortunate to live in a state like Maine that has such great SPCAs.
Sure.
So maybe donate. If you don't have a cat, but you still want to help support National Cat Day, donate to one of them. I had a friend that just moved down to North Carolina, and she said they don't have the same policies around SPCAs as there are in Maine. So there's a lot more cats that are just strays walking around.
A lot of kill shelters out there. We try not to do that up here in Maine. There's a lot of organizations, too, also helping some of the feral colonies of cats. And we have cats in Brewer and Bangor, for example, that are just running around.
Right.
Sometimes they try to rescue the kittens so they can rehome them.
Yep.
Some of the other cats that can't be rescued, they're fed or they're provided with some shelter, things like that. So this is a day to think about organizations like Forgotten Felines of Maine.
Yeah, adopt, don't shop.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
All right, on this day in history, back in 1863, the International Committee of the Red Cross was formed when 18 countries gathered in Geneva. The concept was approved to help improve medical services for those wounded on the battlefield in Europe. Of course, it has now expanded. Now they respond to natural disasters and do so much more.
Yeah.
In 1929, a day known as Black Tuesday struck Wall Street as panicked investors made millions of trades in a single day. Thousands of investors lost everything when the market collapsed, leading to the Great Depression. In 1940, a blindfolded Secretary of War drew the first number from a glass bowl in America's first peacetime military draft. With World War II raging overseas, the U.S. wanted all men between the ages of 21 and 45 to register. The following year, in 1941, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Congress amended the order requiring able-bodied men ages 18 to 64 to sign up for military service. And as we know, that it ended up being mostly 18 and 19-year-olds that ended up going over there and doing a lot of the fighting during World War II.
My grandmother's brother was 17 when he went over, but it was the type of thing after Pearl Harbor that really rallied a lot of young people.
A lot of kids were lying about their ages, even young as 15 or 13 years old, just because they wanted to go join their friends over in the fight.
Right.
All right, in 1945, the first ballpoint pens to be made commercially available went on sale in New York, a New York department store for $12.50. I think they were pretty high tech for the time.
That's pretty expensive for back then.
Yeah.
In 1960, boxer Muhammad Ali won his first professional fight. In 1969, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered an immediate end to all school segregation. That's, I think, what, a year after Brown versus Board of Education.
Right around
so it
there.
took a little time. In 1998, nearly 4 decades after becoming the first American to orbit Earth, Senator John Glenn returned to space. He was launched as a payload specialist aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery at the age of 77. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy slammed ashore in New Jersey and slowly devastated coastal communities. Millions were left without power, and the superstorm caused at least 182 deaths. I still think they haven't fully recovered. I know parts of the boardwalk, the little fair area right there, recently closed. I saw that on AP News recently.
Really?
And that's a decades-old area of really important cultural recreation. And I don't know, stuff like this, these coastal areas keep getting hit by hurricanes.
And they're getting stronger and stronger, too.
Yep. All right, finally now in 2015, China announced plans to abolish its one-child policy, allowing families to have 2 children for the first time in more than 35 years.
For birthdays today, they include actress Winona Ryder, who is 53 years old today. Singer and TV host Randy Jackson from The Jacksons is 68, and actor Richard Dreyfuss, the great Richard Dreyfuss, is 77 years old today. So happy birthday to all of them. And if they were in Maine today, they would have some be enjoying some nice fall weather for this time of year. Kind of a mild day, partly cloudy skies, going to get even warmer once we get through a little rain.
Right. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
All righty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have a small craft advisory that has been issued along the coast, and that will last until about 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon because of active surf that will be expected thanks to gusty winds. Meanwhile, this morning, we're looking nice and calm out there with just a few passing clouds. I haven't seen much fog reported this morning. Keep an eye out for that just in case some of that does develop. But we are watching for some active weather further off towards the west, showers and storms over in parts of lower Michigan and some activity up in parts of Canada. We'll have our return for rain coming up later on tonight. But futurecast moving forward. Again, we're going to be watching for a partly cloudy sky later on today. Rain moves in coming up later on tonight, and even as we head towards parts of early Wednesday morning. As for the winds, not too bad. Roughly at about 5 to 10 miles per hour today. They pick up a little bit more along the coast later on tonight, and especially as we head towards Wednesday morning. So for today, not bad. We have lower 50s, partly cloudy, and that south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour or so. Later on tonight, rain moves in. Areas of dense fog also expected with lows in the upper 30s and that south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we head towards tomorrow, middle 50s, rain showers on the way, also breezy. South wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour. The hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon with temperatures warming into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, an Appleton resident is uncovering a new art form.
Our Jody Hersey shows us how this artist works to unravel the beauty of worn fishing equipment into colorful pieces of wall art.
Eric Darling is hard at work in his garage in Appleton, creating a new piece of art using discarded lobster rope.
I didn't think moving to an area would influence my art until it happened.
For 30 years, Darling's art consisted of oil paintings and photography. When he moved to Maine, he found a new medium when he came across an abundant supply of used rope along Maine's coast.
So I just keep gathering as much as I can. And in the process, I've realized how much is going into our landfills. And so my mission statement was to draw awareness to the rope as an art medium and hopefully keep as much out of the waste stream as possible.
So Darling started what he calls his drift rope project. He begins by organizing his stash of rope by color. Next, he makes a sketch before turning his drawing into a one-of-a-kind piece.
But it tends to evolve as I go, just because of the nature of the rope and how thick the lines are.
Darling's work is available in Knox County, and now folks in Penobscot County will get to see it for themselves during the Maine Harvest Festival here at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor in November.
It really has been like an art with a mission to keep recycling and reusing.
Turning trash into treasure, one rope at a time. In Appleton, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Really neat stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Very unique and so Maine.
Yeah.
All right, right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
Don't go away.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
Whether you have a $15,000 fender bender or a surgery case worth $1 million, call the Twos.
Fortunately, my accident wasn't that bad, but I called the Twos and Lowry & Associates still got me $20,000.
My husband was in a very serious accident and needed back surgery. We called the Twos and Lowry & Associates got him $450,000.
Big cases and small, we handle them all. Call us. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
Did you know there's a detergent that gets your dishes up to 100% clean, even in an older dishwasher? Try Cascade Platinum Plus for sparkling clean dishes, even on the toughest jobs. Just scrape, load, and you're done. Switch to Cascade Platinum Plus.
I drive more running for Congress than I used to. I've been all around the state. You meet a lot of great people. They talk a lot about higher costs, skyrocketing electric bills, and rising inflation. And heating oil tanks need to be filled soon. People are struggling. We need to lower inflation and the cost of fuel and bring balance to Washington. I'm Austin Theriault, and I approve this message.
People over politics. Austin Theriault for Congress.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
Aaron Judge leads the Yankees against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Game 4 of the World Series tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start on the football field. It is a big week for the UMaine Black Bears. Maine falling on the road to number 15 Rhode Island, 24-14 last Saturday, but the game was tied at 14 in the fourth quarter. The Black Bears now back to 500 on the season, falling to 4-4, and they look ahead to a historic matchup, heading to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners in an SEC game. For Oklahoma standards, it's a disappointing year for them, but it's still going to be a great challenge for Maine and one that they're approaching with open arms.
We're going to go compete. That's one of our values as a team. And yeah, that's our mindset is like, got to have a great week of practice. And then, got to do a great job in how we conduct ourselves throughout the week, taking care of our bodies, and then go down there and just, let it rip and play football and compete, and, an opportunity to compete in one of the best conferences in the country.
That game kicks off at 2:30 from Norman, Oklahoma, and you can watch it on the SEC Network. Staying with the Black Bears and moving on to hockey now, a good weekend for Maine hockey, but despite not losing, they fall in the national polls. Maine moves down just one spot in the polls to 7th in the nation, according to U.S. College Hockey Online. The Black Bears got that monkey off their back, winning their first game in Matthews Arena in 14 tries, taking down Northeastern 4-1 last Friday. They skated to a tie on Saturday before winning the conference point in a shootout later on. Now at 4-0-1 on the season, they are back in action Friday at Boston College. And it is playoff time for our high school teams. Tuesday is a huge day for girls soccer. All of our Northern quarterfinals matchups will play. Let's check out that schedule. In Class A, Skowhegan heads to Bangor, Brewer heads to Brunswick, Camden Hills will host Mount Blue, and Hamden plays Mount Ararat. Madomic Valley is the top seed. In Class B, they host Gardner, John Bapst heads to Winslow, Herman will host Ellsworth, and Presque Isle travels to Erskine Academy. Mount View will head to top seed Fort Kent in Class C. Central and Mattanockhook will battle at Central. Foxcroft welcomes MCI, Bucksport will host host Orono. In Class D, Bangor Christian won their prelim Friday. They play Ashland. Fort Fairfield heads to Winston. Washburn will play Central Aroostook. Defending champs Penobscot Valley host Madawaska. And finally, for 8-player soccer, Hodgdon will host Woodland. George Stevens welcomes Katahdin. Dexter and Sumner battle in Dexter, and Shed will host Panquist. Moving on now, what a win it was for the Patriots. It is Victory Monday, just the second of the season for Pats fans. New England taking down Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in thrilling fashion on Sunday. Things looked a little shaky for New England, leading 7-6 in the first half. Drake May scrambled for a big gain here towards the end of the half, but took this hit to the side of the helmet. He went out. He's in concussion protocol. In came Jacoby Brissett. Brissett, who struggled the first 5 games of the year, leading New England to 2 touchdown drives, including this one. This was a big play here to Kayshon Boutte with under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to win the game, take down the rival Jets. Both he and Gerard Mayo saying it took a lot of resiliency, both as a team and individually.
I've ever really questioned the resilience of this team, and I'm not going to go back to those comments. What I will say is we have a room full of guys with the mentality that, you got to change the page every day. Every day is a new day, and we have to get better and understand that practice is the most important thing we do until we get to the game. So
I think this is a testament to me believing in myself and not y'all. It was, it was sweet. I mean, you can't put it into words, but, I'm not trying to be arrogant or nothing, but I'm very proud of myself today.
And the Pats traded linebacker Josh Uche to the Chiefs for a 6th-round pick. Finally, to some basketball now. We're a week away from the college season starting, and the Maine Celtics tipping off their training camp earlier on Monday. The Celtics will have some new faces this season and some familiar ones, including guard J.D. Davison, who is back in Portland. Same with sharpshooting guard Drew Peterson, who had a great year last season. The Celtics came within a game of their first ever G League championship a year ago, but they also have a new head coach, Tyler Lashbrook. He most recently worked in Boston as a player development coach with the Celtics, and now the Kentucky native is excited to spend the season here in Maine.
Day one was great. The energy was great. It was pretty cool. Yesterday we went to out on the boat and caught some lobsters. There's a specialness about this place. I think the guys feel it, and they feel it when they're in here, and they feel it when they're in the community. So.
The Celtics open play next Friday, November 8th in Long Island. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
I think Austin Terrio can be very dangerous.
He most definitely would join the extremists in Congress.
Austin Terrio is on the same side as the extremists who want to have a national abortion ban. The extremists that don't allow women to have choice.
And these extremists, they're going to try to control women. It's wrong. I think you're going to see women die.
I just don't want that for my grandchildren.
Austin Terrio, he's not going to stand up for my rights in Congress.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
The brand new Chung Lee Chinese restaurant, located in the Waterville Concourse, offers truly delicious, authentic cooking with the best poo-poo platter in the area. Lunch specials and dinner combinations available for dine-in, takeout, and delivery.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
For 50 years, I've paid into Social Security and Medicare.
You earned it. You paid it in every week.
Austin Terrio skipped work in the State House.
But he still took his paycheck from taxpayers.
Now, Austin Terrio wants to go to Congress, joining politicians who would
cut the Social Security and Medicare benefits that we earned. Which is kind of scary.
It's going to hurt a lot of people in Maine.
I think it's criminal.
Highway robbery.
No show, Terrio.
Will never work for Maine.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Qualified Chevy lessees can lease this Silverado for around $359 a month. Visit your Maine Chevy dealers.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with Ben James. He's a spokesperson for First Friday Art Walks here in Bangor. It's a really exciting event coming up this Friday and every month in Bangor. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm excited to talk about the Art Walks. It's really a great thing that's happening in the town.
Yeah, I know. I love it. It's really a cultural and community event. You want to explain what people can expect if they've never been?
Well, it's a walk around the town with different locations that are involved. You can find the flyer by going to our Instagram account, which is Bangor First Fridays Art Walk, all with underscores between the words.
Yeah.
And you can find out who's where, but we have different art openings. We have photography, we have fantasy maps, we have different locations just doing different things, and it goes on from 4 to 7.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, it seems like if you are somebody who shops downtown, don't worry, because you're still going to see new things if you go on Friday. There's going to be openings,
right?
Like at Red Rabbit, right?
Red Rabbit is hosting Matt King as their opening art show this week, or this First Friday. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, so all sorts of new stuff.
Who's taking part in this? I imagine it gives local artists a great way to get their work out in front of the public.
Right. We have a lot of artists. We have an artist named Darren Rocket who's showing their abstract art over at the stage door next to the Penobscot Theater. We have photographers involved who are showing different styles of photography at Rock and Art, and there's also some photography at the library. The library is going to be involved. They've got lots of different artists there, and you can see them on their website too.
Can you buy the art too?
Oh, it's all.
It's all for sale.
I think it's all for sale. Unless otherwise marked, it would all be for sale. Yes.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, you're part of an organization with Bangor too, right?
Right, Downtown Bangor Partnership, yes.
And this is something that goes on every month, so it's different every month. If you went last month, there's going to be something new this month too, right?
We even have new locations this month that we didn't have last month, and we're hoping to build on that further and further. New locations, new artists, just show everybody's work and showcase all of the businesses.
Right, and it's important to support these things. We were also talking right before that Downtown Bangor Partnership. You guys may be working with them more in the future, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to start managing the Facebook events pages, and they're going to start advertising our flyers and our events.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah. But okay, so right now, if you do want a map to see who's where, you should get on their Instagram or
You can
Facebook.
get on the Instagram. The map is not available until probably later today.
Okay.
Because I have to go collect that from Joanne Holston, who is making it.
Yes.
Her gallery is involved as well.
Yeah.
She'll be in the art walk, so you can expect that.
In my experience, some of the best community events are these ones that are organized by just a handful of people, and sometimes you can't get all the information immediately a week ahead. There's not a huge marketing team. It's just a team trying to figure out what they can, and there's just, it's in a couple days.
Absolutely. We put out flyers, and sometimes the flyers don't have everybody on it, but it's like we have to get the flyers out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's impending. The First Friday is coming, and we need to get something out there.
And this supports local artists.
That's what I was going to say. What a great thing, though. It not only supports local artists, but it just kind of shows what a thriving art scene we have here in Bangor.
Right, and there's the Bangor Art Society too, which is a 150-year-old society, which I'm on the board of, and that's where I pull artists from initially when I need an artist to connect with a venue, and then I'll reach out to friends or other friends of friends and see what I can make happen.
Yeah. So you know a lot of local artists
I do.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, a wealth of knowledge. All right, Ben, it looks like we're running out of time, but thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. A small crowd advisory is up until 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon along the coast, as active surf will be expected to move in yet again. For now, it's rather calm out there in the ocean. 1-foot wave heights being reported according toward the buoys at this time. A little bit active farther out towards sea, around 2 to 6 foot wave heights being reported in those areas. Meanwhile, on land, not looking too bad. We're under a partly cloudy sky this morning. A little bit more active weather developing further off towards the west. We have showers and storms in lower Michigan and some active weather in Canada as well. We'll have our turn for some rain coming up later on tonight. So Futurecast showing that partly cloudy sky that will be on the way for us today. And later on tonight, more clouds move in. The rain gets going after midnight. Early Wednesday morning, we'll be watching for showers that will be passing through, continuing throughout the day on Wednesday. Notice by Wednesday night, things do back off. Then once we head towards your Thursday, not looking too bad. Maybe some fog to watch out for, and maybe some clouds as we head towards Thursday morning. As for the rainfall, I'm going to stop this by early Thursday morning. Not a whole lot of rain expected, maybe around 1/10 of an inch of rain possible before we're all finished up. And then later on this week, a little bit more on the way. So overall this week, maybe around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain possible. We'll take any rain that we can get, as it's been dry lately around here with moderate drought developing across our neck of the woods. And it's not just us as well. Further off towards the west, look at this. Most of the country dealing with some kind of drought right now. We could use the precipitation. At least for us, we'll get a little bit moving in coming up soon. Our average high temperature is 53 degrees. We'll do lower 50s today, middle 50s Wednesday, middle 70s. Hello, as we head towards your Thursday, upper 60s for your Friday. Then we cool off. We got 40s Saturday and 50s Sunday, and again for your Monday. So for today, lower 50s under a partly cloudy sky, and that south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour or so. Later on tonight, upper 30s, rain likely. Areas of dense fog also expected, and that south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we have middle 50s for the high temperature. Some rain showers on the way, also breezy, and that south wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Let's check out your extended forecast. All decked out for Halloween coming up soon, showing a partly cloudy sky and rather warm for Halloween with highs in the mid 70s. Some more rain showers Friday with highs in the upper 60s. And then we cool off, upper 40s for Saturday under a mostly sunny sky.
Jared Golden says,
I'm not voting for Donald Trump.
That's because Golden supports Kamala's agenda. Golden voted for their $1 trillion spending spree and against funding Trump's wall.
I'm not voting for Donald Trump.
Golden's for Kamala's policies instead. Aroostook County native, Austin Terrio, endorsed by Trump. He'll support Trump's policies, secure the border, and fix our economy. The choice is clear.
I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message.
With the almost unavoidable political ads in an already hectic world, the kitchen people at Atlantic Designs would like to offer you this moment of zen. Your dream kitchen awaits with the kitchen people at Atlantic Designs.
Fires, floods, burst pipes. Disasters happen, but the mess they leave behind doesn't have to last. For 40 years, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration has been there to help Mainers get back to the closest to normal as they can. When your property is at its worst, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is at their best, and they have been for 4 decades. Put your trust in the Bouchard team. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
Alice loves the scent of Gain so much, she wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice. And long-lasting Gain scent beads, part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
We have 30,000 ways to thank our loyal fans.
Courtroom leader, the judge.
Win one of 3 $10,000 cash prizes.
You just won the game, guys!
It's the 30K Thanks Arama giveaway.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
With Halloween ready to sweeten your kids' tummies this week, parents may want to know what the trick is to keeping those treats around. Christine Venema, a food safety educator at Michigan State University, says you don't have to have nightmares on Elm Street about most Halloween candy. Venema says the most chocolates, hard candies, even gummies will last a year, but check your Best Buy dates and go with that if they have them. If chocolate goes chalky or white, ingredients are separating, but it's still safe to eat. Chocolates with nuts will go bad and the fats will grow rancid. It's best to store candies in a cool location with airtight containers. And if you want to be part of it, consider donating to Ronald McDonald House, Soldiers Angels Treat for Troops, and Operation Shoebox. That is, of course, if you have any leftover candy at all.
That was going to be my comment. Candy doesn't last around my house long enough to go bad, really.
No, I know. I think that's a fantastic problem to have.
Yeah, right? All right, well, alleys at the Paris Games week were filled with life-sized video games, manga, and comic book characters on Sunday. I don't know what I'm reading here. As, that's where we go. Cosplayers?
Cosplayers.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Flocked into the event. Just a few days away from Halloween, fans dressed up as their favorite characters and took photos with fellow enthusiasts. Cosplaying. Is that what it is? Okay,
yes.
I'm getting on board here.
Yeah. Costume,
Oh, I get it. It's like characters from movies and things like that.
Right.
It's a growing trend in France with increasing numbers of people trying their hand at crafting costumes and role-playing characters from various series and games. Since 2016, cosplayers from all over France have also been competing in the French Cosplay Cup, which awards the best costumes with a prize. Some of those are pretty neat too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing internationally.
They do that around here too.
Yeah. And finally now, the streets of Mexico burst with color on Sunday night as hundreds of skeletons adorned in flowers and traditional dress paraded on the capital's main boulevard as part of the Day of the Dead festivities. Mexicans painted and got dressed up as the iconic Mexican skeleton La Catrina for the pre-Day of the Dead celebrations. The parade is one of the city's many events for the Day of the Dead, and I would love to visit sometime during this time of year. Looks beautiful.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you have a great day.
Today on 25 Words or Less, in a shameless attempt to ride the coattails of a more successful primetime show, welcome to the Mystery Celebrity! Oh, it was just Melissa Bienerman. Joining Melissa are sisters Ashton and Ambria. She made it to the semi-finals of American Idol, which sounds much more impressive than saying she came 36th. It's Jackie Tone!
Reveal! I also have a huge cool reveal!
Joining our returning champions, married couple, Natalie and Casey. And now here's your host. There's no mystery about her. It's Meredith Vieira.
Open book here, folks. Welcome to 25 Words or Less. Hey, kids! Hey, Meredith! Hey! Hey, Jackie Tone, this is your first time in Atlanta.
I know, and it's so exciting. I've been to